Alright, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dave, and this channel, Save America, Vote Tulsi Gabbard. Why is it here? What am I doing here? All of these questions can be answered just by watching the channel and understanding that I think our country, as a republic, as the way it's been designed to work, I think we're in our last days unless we turn it around. Some people say this about climate change. I think America has less than 12 years if we continue to go down the road we're going. The fragmentation, the lack of unity, people talking past one another rather than talking to one another. It's really clear to me that time is running out. And I have never... and I really truly mean this, I have never encountered a candidate like Tulsi Gabbard who speaks from the heart and from the head. Okay, she can answer any question you throw at her. She's thoughtful, and she's convincing, and she's sincere. And the fact that the establishment does not see this about her, and now she's being attacked by people who are in her own movement, who have big, high-paid, expensive channels where they get all kinds of funding, and they supposedly encourage people to become progressive in their viewpoints, and they try to convince people that progressivism is the way to go, and then they support a Russian collusion narrative, and then they talk about Hillary Clinton, and you better get in line. All these poor Bernie people who were shut out last time around. And by the way, Bernie is probably the second candidate in this race that I would take a look at, but I'm looking at Tulsi Gabbard as the way to go. She's more dynamic, she's younger, her military service, I mean, there are a lot of things that are very appealing about Tulsi Gabbard, and they're scary things, though, to the establishment. They don't know what to do with her. She's not your typical candidate. She's a unity candidate. When she talks about contrary views, she's always being apologetic, because our discourse is so bad now that, again, we talk past each other. And when we disagree about an issue, we don't talk about how to resolve the disagreement. At times, yeah, you're going to have to agree to disagree, but at other times, a smart compromise where someone gets something is better than nothing. And maybe, just maybe, if you talk to each other, you can understand where the other side is coming from. Now, I'm not arguing here for a centrist candidate, but I am arguing for a candidate that once they get into office can explain to me why we need Medicare for all. Okay? Convince me. Tell me, explain this to me. I mean, when Obama got Obamacare, nobody really knew what was in that. And even Nancy Pelosi, the famous quote where she said, once we pass it, we'll find out what's in it. That's just the epitome of bad. And that, I'll never forget that quote. And I'm thinking to myself, this is how we're doing legislation now. And we need to have vigorous debates. And Tulsi Gabbard is a big proponent of vigorous debates. Now, you may want just 100% progressive agenda, and don't worry about how other people feel about it. I want a candidate who can use the bully pulpit, use the media, use Twitter, whatever it is, and tell and explain to people what they want to do, why they want to do it, and how they're going to do it. And there's nobody on the stage, on the political scene right now, that can do this like Tulsi Gabbard. And in the process, she sends out little, you want to call them dog whistles, I don't know what you want to call them, because a dog whistle has got a very negative connotation. But I would say she sends out peace offerings. That would be a good way of looking at it, because she's all into peace. She's talking about a peace dividend. I just love those terms. But she's sending out a peace offering to people who don't quite agree with her and everything. And I think that is the first step in getting to a place where you can truly be a unity candidate and bring people together. You know, I called her a fusion candidate a while ago because she fuses different ideas together, but she really is a unity candidate. And I'm not sure that progressives like that. And I think some of them are a little like, uh-oh, there's this guy on YouTube, and he's center-right, and he's talking about Tulsi Gabbard 3 times a day sometimes. That's not a good sign. Why would he be in for her? What does he believe? Well, I believe things that she probably doesn't believe. But I know I could sit next to Tulsi Gabbard and have a conversation with her about my concerns. And she would listen to it. And she would take it into account. And she'd listen to all Americans. And then she'd come up with the best proposals. She'd get Congress together. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's nobody that can really do this. Maybe it's all pie in the sky, and I'm putting too much faith in a human being to get this done. And maybe our time has passed as a country. But I don't think we should give up. I think we just keep trying. The hope is there. You know, Obama did Hope and Change. You know, he emphasized people love hope. Hope is powerful. I'm hoping that Tulsi Gabbard can get into the debates. I'm hoping she can get into the general election. I'm hoping she can become the president of the United States, because she would bring so many people hope that they don't have. But more important than the hopey-changey stuff is the actual stuff that comes after that, which are policies that help people who are in need. Policies, by the way, that restrict our involvement in foreign wars that we have nothing to do with and that have no bearing on our future as a country. What they do is they make other countries angry with us, hence the proxy wars with countries like Russia, okay, China. We really don't need to be in those types of conflicts. We don't have to prove our bravado around the world like John Bolton wants to do. We've done it before. It doesn't help the people who live here. It just helps the politicians, and it helps the military-industrial complex and all of the contractors. That's it. And yeah, if you're lucky enough to have a job at Raytheon or any of those companies that you always hear in the news that getting these huge contracts and they're hoping for war in the Middle East, and wouldn't that be great for business, and our stock prices will start going up. That's a cruel business model right there. And we're doing all this, and we could have maybe some clean energy here or there. You know, we could maybe get away from some of these fossil fuels. We could, because, you know, if we put our focus on our future rather than on failed ideas from the past, you know, the sky is the limit. And we have the minds, we have brilliant minds in this country, but we need a vision. And we need a leader to bring that vision home. And that's got to be Tulsi Gabbard. It's got to be her. I don't know who else can do it. I don't know if Bernie, even though Bernie has a lot of the right ideas, I don't think Bernie can fight. And we saw that because he laid right down. And, you know, for him to go and just say, yeah, Hillary Clinton is the way to go. That was just, I mean, if you're a fan of Bernie, you've got to still be wondering, will it happen again? You know, will it happen again? Will a progressive lose to an establishment character like Beto O'Rourke? Imagine if Bernie Sanders has to go and endorse Beto for president. And then you got Beto versus Trump. It's like the same, you know, two sides of the same coin. I don't see a big difference. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. People will vote for Trump because he's the incumbent, and, you know, he can brag about all this stuff that happened to him, and he'll go right at the media and just say, hey, these guys are doing it again to me. And people are going to believe it because it happened. That's the difference. It really happened. So, before I go, I want to mention this cool website that I found, thanks to a gentleman who I got a hold of earlier. The website is PresidentTulsiGabbard.org, PresidentTulsiGabbard.org, and there's actually a link to my YouTube channel. So, thumbs up to this gentleman here who created this site. It is a one-stop shop for all things Tulsi Gabbard. You can browse this site and probably stay there for days and learn new things. There are links to other shows. I'm actually right next to the Jimmy Dore show, which is going to benefit me because people might click and miss him and get me instead. So if you find yourself clicking for Jimmy Dore and you wind up here, good. That's all I could say. There's one less view for Jimmy Dore and one more view for just ordinary Dave here. It's fine. Jimmy Dore is great, so I'm just making a little joke there. But this gentleman's name is Jim or James, and he's got a great website. All his info is on the site too, so if you want to congratulate him, send him out an email. But man, oh man, this has got a ton of stuff on it. And there's a movie ticket. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a movie ticket on there that you can click on and go see a movie about Tulsi Gabbard. So all in all, a great day for yours truly as we continue to have more subscribers here and hopefully more supporters for Tulsi Gabbard. Don't forget to donate to her campaign. There's a link on that website as well. Eventually, I will put a link to this website in the description of one of these videos, so you'll have that at your fingertips and you can click away and enjoy. All right, I am done. I will be back soon.